Keith is a good friend of mine, and recently this video of his went viral. Sorry, Keith, for stopping you in such a undignified position. Yeah, he asked me to give my opinion on this and see where we're going from there. I also promised him that I'm not going to be pulling any punches, so let's see if our friendship can survive this. Okay, so first of all, Keith is a longevity athlete. He's kind of new to this longevity thing. That's why it's so impressive why he's making so much progress. He started living healthy 5 years ago, right? And he's 65, so he made the change in his 60s, and now he's growing his hair back. That's what this video is about. Now, I also want to mention that although none of us are experts in hair growth, right? We both have results. I have results. Let me just show you my results. In 2018, I had a company, and there was a creative person who created a superhero figure of me. I wonder if you notice something about this superhero figure. Right, it has no hair. And now look at me, it does have the hair. Of course it's a caricature, but still, this was my wake-up call that, hey, this is how people see me without the muscles. And so that's when I started to regrow my hair as well. And Keith and me are going in very different directions. This will be an interesting one. Oh yeah, one important thing that I wanted to mention, that none of us are experts, right? And so, don't get into this old bodybuilder fallacy that my argument is right because I have bigger muscles. We know that's not how it works, right? So despite Keith and me are having some progress in hair growth, don't take us as the authority on the field. We're just trying to share our experiences. Now, take it away, Keith.
30s. I'm 60 now. Yes, you can regrow hair in your 60s. I thought I was screwed. That's just not how it is. You just need to know what the hell is going on. Most don't. Yeah, you heard me. Most don't know why they're losing hair. The hair loss remedy industry doesn't want you to know what I'm about to tell you because they can't make any money from it. Also, if you know what I'm about to tell you.
Yeah, so maybe if he goes into this more, then I'm going to explain it more. But, I am an ultra capitalist, so I have a high trust in market processes. The market is efficient in the long term. But anyway, let's not get caught up on this if he's not going into his reasoning here.
I don't need to go over all these cash cow remedies that produce minimal results. It's a pipe dream. Maybe you're also having side effects like your Willy Wonka isn't wonkering. If you're happy with the results and like spending money on these remedies, that's great.
Yeah, maybe you should take a look at what Brian Johnson is doing. He's talking a lot about how his Willy Wonka is wonkering.
That's great. Enjoy your hair. We can
fiat money. It's Bitcoin for life, man. Bitcoin for life.
Hair. We can talk about DHT and all that, but it really all comes down to blood flow. You can take DHT blockers early in the loss process and it may work, but it won't regrow hair that has been lost.
So that's what I hear as well, that it's not regrowing hair, it's just slowing down the progression, because DHT is a hormone that is being converted from testosterone and it stops your hair growing, right? We're talking about male pattern baldness here, so it's probably not very relevant for women, although maybe his methods are, but DHT, as far as I know, isn't.
The earlier in your stage of loss, the better, but you can even regrow it in your 60s like me. I'm mainly talking about male hair loss, but it can help females too. This is for typical aging-related hair loss, not for some rare condition outlier. I'll be sharing some new information like this powerhouse blood flow supplement with crazy results. I was blown away by its increase in blood flow. Bottom line, we want to wake up our dormant hair follicles that have been miniaturized so small you can't see them with your eyes. You may be able to see some with a magnifying mirror, but even then it's hard. These are called
Powerhouse thingy that he's going to talk about. I have a feeling what that's going to be. Notice his name is Invert Age, and you're going to see that he's pretty big on inversion. Let's see.
These are called vellus hairs. These are the hairs that have been choked off from blood supply. They're just waiting for somebody to save them. Some will never get saved, and that's sad. But that's on other people's heads, not ours. We will rescue our vellus hairs and revive
That's on other people's heads, not ours.
them to full growth because we know how to do it. This is major. If you don't know about scalp fibrosis, you really don't understand male pattern hair loss. Scalp fibrosis is caused by scalp tension. This tension stresses the skin. This tension causes micro-inflammation that leads to micro-scarring and excess collagen, which chokes out the blood supply to the hair follicles. You may have even seen someone with a scar on top of their head from an injury where their hair doesn't grow back in that spot. You need to know this. This is a key factor in most male pattern hair loss. The highest tension areas match up with the typical areas of loss, the temples, crown, and over the top, like on the Norwood scale. Highest tension gets lost first. The problem is there's no money in fixing it. Why? Because it's fixed for free. It's done by yourself with deep scalp massage.
That is a very interesting theory. Around 3 years, 4 years, 5 years ago, whatever, when I started my hair growth journey, I did look into what the studies were saying about scalp massage, specific kind of scalp massage. I don't know if that matters or not, perhaps. But they were promising, but there were no studies. Like there was like one study and a bunch of like anecdotes out there. Maybe it has changed now, but I always like kept an eye on this scalp massage thingy. On the other hand, I never get into it because it takes a lot of time to do by yourself, and I could never get like someone to do it regularly for you.
Massage. The only way there would be money in it is if you had to hire someone to massage your head. That sounds pretty nice, actually, doesn't it? But seriously, deep scalp massage breaks up the stiff, compacted skin to bring in new blood flow. Move the scalp around the skull. Don't slide your fingers around your skin. Fingers stay planted. Skin moves on the skull like this. Don't do this. Do this, where the skin actually moves. Do it in your problem areas. You need to do it consistently, 10 to 15 minutes per day, every day. It will take some time to start seeing results. You may start seeing results in a month or two, but here's another thing. It may sound crazy, but you need to do it upside down. Yes, that's right. Just hang your head over the edge of a bed. It actually makes massaging easier because you don't have to hold up the weight of your arms. But here's why we do it upside down: for increased blood flow. I use an inversion table. If you have one, great. Plus, inversion tables have a lot of other health benefits. I did a video on that, link in details. Inversion is important, and it actually produces hair regrowth on its own. I noticed that when I started out in the beginning of getting serious about health, I had a spine issue and would use an inversion table every day. I noticed new hairs popping outside of my hairline. It was a wow eye-opener. Inversion is great, so pair up deep scalp massage with inversion. Do it at the same time. Wait, there's more. You need to injure your scalp. Why? Because we want to induce blood flow and stem cell activation. We do this with microneedling, a simple device you can get for about $20.
So let's stay a little bit on inversion, because when I interviewed Keith on my show, then he talked a lot about inversion and I got into it. I started doing stuff every day, but I'm not quite sold on just being inverted yet. So I decided to do some progressive exercises. And in the very first exercise that I did, it was just putting up my legs on a couch and lying on the floor, right? Like pretty simple. I did this 5 minutes a day for 1 week. And what I noticed is that when I get up, I always got dizzy, right? In fact, when I was in a very long periods of, let's say, watching Netflix or something like that, and I get up, and then I always get dizzy, and then I noticed that my kid didn't do that. Hey, I don't want to get dizzy if I lay down for a while and get up swiftly. So it turns out I was able to train my borrow reflex with that. So for a couple of weeks, I was doing this routine, and also I was doing a 5 minute sit down, stand up every 10 seconds routine for 5 minutes. All right, so this trained my borrow reflex in a way that now that I can lay down and have my legs up for 5 minutes and then get up and not getting dizzy. And it happened after like 3, 4 sessions. The benefits were astonishing. Like, I never really experienced benefits from any exercise or anything like that so quickly. So, yeah, train your borrow reflex and you're not getting dizzy anymore by simply laying down for a longer period and getting up quickly. Anyway, that's the start of my inversion journey. Does it work for hair loss? It's anyone's guess. When I was looking into it a couple of years ago, it wasn't even on my radar, so I don't know.
$dollars on Amazon. Get a high quality one. You can use a stamp, pen, or roller. I use a roller with 1.5 millimeter needles. There's more details on these methods with the previously linked video I mentioned. Make sure you check it out. So we have deep scalp massage while inverted and microneedling. This triple combo is enough, but we can make it eventually.
So microneedling is something that does seem to work according to studies. Like, finally, we are in a territory which we cannot deny. In fact, microneedling combined with minoxidil works better than either microneedling or minoxidil. Okay, so let me just give you a one-on-one about male pattern baldness, hair loss strategies, how to fix them. I believe this is the consensus, right? So you go to any doctor, they're gonna give you minoxidil. Okay, minoxidil is something you put on your hair every day, twice. It's gonna grow back, something like that. Now, the other thing that they are going to give you is finasteride. We talked about DHT before. Finasteride is blocking the DHT. It's a tablet. Minoxidil has a tablet form as well. I never was able to get my hands on it. In fact, even my finasteride tablet was, I don't even know if that's what I'm taking because it's illegal in my country and there is only the 5 milligram version that you could get some prostate stuff, but for hair loss you need the 1 milligram version, and and uh, and so I couldn't get it. So I ordered from a shady online pharmacy, and the shady I ordered something called Prophacia, and the shady online pharmacy sent me Delphacia, which is like, what the heck is that? So I was trying to look it up, and I found an Indian company registry entry, and that's it. Like, have no idea what I'm taking, but well, it seems to work, so I can't complain.
Especially if it's hair loss later in life, which makes things harder. Next, we have some supplement additions. First up, I'll tell you about my newest addition, which is a blood flow powerhouse. It's a vasodilator, nicotinic acid, which is the pure form of niacin. Not just any niacin, you need to get the kind that produces a flush, temporary.
I have no idea if this works. This was also not a standard hair loss supplement. His logic is at least plausible, right? Like, if you increase blood flow, which you do with massaging or with inversion or with nicotinic acid niacin, okay, yeah, so that increases blood flow and it's probably good.
Acid, which is the pure form of niacin. Not just any niacin, you need to get the kind that produces a flush, temporary skin redness. Don't worry, it's only when you first start taking it. Your body adapts and it's harmless. It's actually invigorating. Some people love the flush effect. Take with some food and it's less likely to happen. My body adapted in a couple weeks. Now I take on an empty stomach and don't get the flush. Make sure you don't get the no flush version of niacin. It won't work. It needs to say just niacin. On the ingredient side of the label, it will say nicotinic acid. I take 100 milligrams in the morning. It's super cheap. I paid $8 for a bottle of 100 capsules. You can take it in the morning before you leave the house while starting out so you don't freak anyone out. Here's me on my very first time I took it, just a little red-faced. This was on a 3-day fast, by the way. My belly was super empty. This increases NAD levels, which is a huge bonus. It can help lower cholesterol also. I want to explain this a little more. I've been taking blood tests and I need to make my finger bleed a bit to get out blood to soak a sample card for testing. I use one of these little finger pricker things that shoot out a needle, then it retracts. I haven't been able to get enough blood out with the 2 jabbers they send in the kit. Then I have to jab my finger a bunch of times with a sewing needle just to get out enough blood to soak the card. After I started to use nicotinic acid, just one small click of the jabber and I get more than enough blood. That shows you how it opens up the blood vessels. This also cured my Raynaud's syndrome, which is a condition that causes blood circulation in the fingertips to stop when it's cold. I did a video on that. Click link in details. I had blood circulation issues beyond the scalp. Not sure the relation, but this shows you the power of nicotinic acid as a vasodilator. That's my point. There's some topical nicotinic acid scalp oils, but that's a way companies can cash in on this. That's the cash cow again. I think the oral capsule method is the best, and it's super cheap. Some other supplements in my hair stack are in the amino acid family because they help with skin health. One way you can target it all is just by taking collagen peptides. I take the
For beautiful skin.
Vital Proteins brand. It's well known to help with skin, hair, and nails, and also joints. But I'm an old dude in full rejuvenation mode, so I take some more from the same amino acid family in capsules twice per day. So I'm actually taking some of these 3 times per day. Collagen peptides will get you what you need. Most won't need to triple up like I do. I do it mainly for structural issues like joints, but it will help with skin too. These others are L-arginine, another blood flow booster. It's also known as the poor man's Viagra. L-proline, L-lysine, glycine, hyaluronic acid, taurine. I also
It's unclear to me if these are and it's unclear to him if these are contributing to his hair growth progress, but possible. You see, I'm taking many of these as well. Yeah, not many of these, only glycine and hyaluronic acid and taurine sometimes. But I don't know if this contributes even to my hair growth progress.
also take saw palmetto. It's supposed to help with hair growth and
Okay, saw palmetto. That's interesting because that is the alternative to finasteride. I was taking it as well, by the way, but I get this Delphasia Indian scam, so now I'm getting that one. But yeah, saw palmetto is like when you cannot get your hands on finasteride, so that's what you are taking, and perhaps that helps as well. It's studies are mildly positive, but that theory is the same to block DHT.
So if you want to implement what I've told you, you will regrow hair most definitely. How much depends on your commitment and your stage of loss. No, really, I'm not kidding. Even a guy with a 5 on a Norwood scale can see a lot of regrowth. The earlier you can target it, the easier it will be. You don't need topicals. They don't really do much. Minoxidil is a waste of money. I used it topically for 16 years. You could try peppermint or rosemary oil, but it's still mostly wasted effort and wrecks your pillows. Forget about all that. Just go for the full mechanical protocol and you will get kick-ass results. We didn't even have this knowledge back when I started losing my hair. Welcome to the new age of knowing reality. As always, be aware of the cash cow. It will always try to sell you a pipe dream. Hopefully you will implement this into your hair rejuvenation and maintenance. I am very happy to teach you this knowledge from the bottom of my heart because it's a drag when we see ourselves slipping away when it's preventable or reversible. If you found this video helpful, you know what to do. I will have many more hairs on my head in the coming months, joining the ones I've already gained. If you want in, start today and don't stop. I'll see you soon.
So great video, but I would also like to teach you my knowledge from the bottom of my heart. And so my understanding of the scientific consensus on this is that if you start to have this male pattern baldness, then you start with finasteride and minoxidil. Like there is no denying if they work. Now, if the minoxidil doesn't work, then you might do it with microneedle, right? You heard in this video. All right. So it's probably what made a difference for me because minoxidil alone didn't seem to make a difference. Anyway, another thing that Keith didn't mention is there are many red light therapy caps. And if you're in front of the computer at least 10 minutes or 20 minutes a day, then that's kind of a no-brainer. I was using that, but now I started using full red light therapy panels. So We'll see where that's going. But anyway, I was using that for a long time, and that might made a difference. The theory on red light therapy for hair growth is kind of at the same ballpark as massage, maybe a bit stronger. Anyway, but Keith's results are also undeniable, and he doesn't seem to be doing the normal stuff, or maybe he tried to be doing the normal stuff, right, and didn't work for him. So anyway, great video. I really hope I was able to add some value to it, because it was a great video, and unfortunately there wasn't too many punches to be pulled here. Good job, Keith. Peace out.